Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and others, a great most honorable well, and shalom to the Lord's elect, starting with 144,000. And yeah, I'm going to get straight into it. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now, when we go to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, okay, let's do that. And the 9th verse, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're in Esau's empire right now because we're at the end of the world. Okay, all the end time prophecies that are written in the scriptures. Okay, the internet, the world wars. Okay, the microchip, all these things have either come to pass or are coming to pass. Okay, war in the Middle East, boots on the ground, Russia being a guard onto its, its allies. These are all found in the scriptures. And these are all the things that would be happening at the end of Esau's empire. Okay, Esau being a so-called white man, for you to understand. Okay, but it's biblically, that's the Edomite nation. They're the Edomites. Edom meaning red, okay? Because they have no melanin in their skin, the red shows forth, okay? They call themselves white people, but they're not white. Okay, white represents what? Purity. And they're nothing. If anything, then they are not pure at all, man. Maybe pure wickedness, because they are the wicked of the scriptures. They're the wicked. They're the devil. They're the accuser of our brethren. They're Satan. Okay. And we're in their kingdom right now. We're in their hand, if you will. Right now, Job the 9th chapter and the 24th verse tells us the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he? And if you want to find out for sure who the wicked are, just go to Malachi, the 1st chapter and the 4th verse. Alright, starting from the 1st verse. Now I'm not going to go to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. I'm going to read that again. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. And that's how Esau moves. Okay? You look at his banking system. You look at what it was built upon. The slavery of our people. Okay? You look at all the wickedness that he's spreading on the earth. Okay? Doing everything he possibly can to go against the scriptures, to discredit the scriptures. Okay? The kingdom that he's ruling, that's going to be done away with. Okay? And all the riches and everything else and all the power, okay, is going to be given to us. All right? And then some. Because the things that Esau is trying to do, we're going to do and greater in a way that he can never even imagine. Okay, the scriptures say eyes are not seen, ears are not heard. Now this guy's talking about space travel. He ain't doing no space travel. He's not going up into the moon. He's not going up into Mars and all that. Okay. Now the ones that are going to be traversing the galaxies is going to be us. What's that? John chapter 14 verse 2. It says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. So there's planets out there that we're going to rule over. Okay, the whole planet. We're going to have planets, man. Okay. And we're going to be sitting on thrones. And we're going to be able to enjoy, all the pleasant things that the Lord has prepared for us, man. Okay. Ain't going to be no crying. Ain't going to be no, when I say crying, ain't going to be no we're going to be joyful. Okay. We're going to be in heaven. We're going to be blessed. So these are the things that are coming to us as we're ticking down Esau's, last minutes, man. But, this devil, his kingdom is about to be translated, man. And the things that he's done, these rich men, these bankers, what they've done, these international banking elite, okay, which is banking, the way they've done it is just they've just used it as a tool to forward their agenda of control, right? They're gonna be destroyed, right? This is James chapter 5 verse 1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." So they're gonna be messed up. First of all, they're gonna try and hide in them bunkers. We're gonna get in them bunkers. We're gonna yank them out of there, and then we're gonna put them straight into slavery. Okay, that's in Amos, regarding the bunkers. It's in Revelation 6 as well, around the last couple of verses. And also in Psalms, I believe is it 137? 1 second, let me just check. No. Psalms 149, Salakia. Right, verse 8 says, "To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all these saints." Praise ye the Lord. And the saints are the Israelites. Okay. It says, well, verse 7, "To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people." All right. And right now, Esau, okay, is in rulership and he's elites. We're going to take them out of power. All right. And they're going straight into slavery, as it is written here. Now let's go back to James, the 5th chapter. It says, "Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. And you shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days." Which ultimately is going into judgment. Gold and silver don't really rust like that. It's talking about their system being, pretty much brought down. Okay. It says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers." Who's the laborers? That's us, the Israelites. Okay. "Who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth." Okay. That's transatlantic slavery. "And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth." Now, that's the I believe that's the Lord of the armies, or the Lord of the hosts, I believe. Okay. "Ye have lived," I'm sure I've got a note on it. Let me check my notes. I haven't gone into it in a while. Right? Yeah. Lord of the troops. There we go. I make sure that I use this app is very useful. I have notes in it. So if I get rusty with something and I haven't gone over a scripture in a while, okay, which we know these scriptures, but just to be, for accuracy's sake, to take care of the word, to take care with this word that we teach, sometimes I just got to check these notes, okay? It says, "You have lived in pleasure on the earth and have been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you." Okay, so we're gonna basically take them out, man, for all the wickedness that they have done. All right, now in Job the 20th chapter, it tells us this. Job 20:15. "He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh Shmi Shai shall cast them out of his belly." So all those gold vaults and all the things that the Esau has, that's ours anyway. We're gonna have that. Okay. We're gonna melt all these idols down, all these things, and we're gonna, you know, melt all of that. Okay. And we're gonna have our gold, man. All right. Golden palaces, gold chains, or everything you can, the things that, hey, even the sea, the roads are gonna be paved with gold, man. Okay. It says, "He shall suck the poison of asps, the viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter." He's still gonna get fucked up. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Which they need to go into slavery. Okay, these heathen, starting with their elites, they need to go into slavery, and they're gonna have long 1,000 years of hardcore slavery. Okay, all the heathen. All right. The only difference with Eden is after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, they're gonna be done away with. Okay, pursuant to Obadiah 1:18. Because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, which means when he's doing good, right? He shall be in straits, meaning in a place of difficulty. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Now the wicked here is talking about the laborers when you look into the word in the blue letter. Okay? In fact, let's do that. Let's go to Job 20. Let's go on to that word. Wicked. Yep. Aimal. A laborer, a sufferer, laborer, workman, toiling. So who's that talking about? The laborers that we're reading about in James 5, it's the same thing. That's talking about us, the Israelites. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Jake's going to be messing Esau up, man. Okay? Esau living in these, gated communities, these suburban, white picket fence places. Hey, Jake's going to be fucking him up too. He says, when he is about to fill his belly, right? Just as he's about to, think he's going to fulfill this new world order desire that he's got, right? Just as he's about to, that mark of the beast, okay, this chip, when he brings that out, that's going to be the final nail in his coffin. All right, I seen a brother put that as a title in his video. I forgot the name of the channel, but that's why it was in my head, right? It says Yahweh Shemiel Shai shall cast a fury. It might have been KC Prophets, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not entirely sure. It says when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Shemiel Shai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So this man ain't gonna be able to fully fulfill his new world order agenda. Just as he brings that chip out, everything's gonna move quick, and America is gonna be destroyed. His armies are gonna be destroyed, and they're gonna go into slavery. We're gonna be putting this world into order under Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, that's what's coming. So, hey, this is just a quick one, just a couple thoughts, and Lord, it was edifying. With that, man, I'm gonna say shalom.